when I was 10, 14, something like that, still a child, but I think, I kind of knew that I'm gonna lead people. So did I have to work harder than others? And man, no. The most important value, respect the people around you. Now, maybe you expect me to answer that I cannot cook, but I'm actually a surprisingly
I didn't
good
say
cook.
you cannot cook.
You want to choose your career, choose it. If you choose to be a mother, choose it. If you think you want to do both, do it.
Poštovani slušatelji i gledatelji, dobrodošli u posebno izdanje INA podcasta. Moja gošća je danas jedna snažna i izuzetna žena, najmoćnija žena hrvatskog biznisa. Ona često govori o poslovnim rezultatima, strategijama i financijama, no danas ćemo Zsuzsannu Ortutaj, predsjednicu uprave INA-e, upoznati u potpuno drugačijem svjetlu. Zsuzsa, thank you for being here and thank you for agreeing to this conversation.
Thank you very much for the invitation and thank you for the opportunity to be here.
I must admit this is special for me too, because I know you don't really like to talk about yourself, but I'm sure your story, if we can call it that, will mean a lot to the women listening, no matter their background or career path. Also, they say if you weren't born in Hungary, there's no way you can understand Hungarian, so I can confirm I don't understand a word. So we'll put that to the test later also. Let's start from the beginning. Today you are leading a huge company. But if we go back in time, have you ever imagined as a little girl that you would be one day a head of a big corporation?
Well, it depends on how little girl. If I think back like long time ago when I was, let's say, kindergarten or first grades of elementary schools, I mean, what a leader of a big company is, I don't even think I had any idea, like none of the kids have. And like all the majority of the girls, let's put it this way, I didn't want to be an actress, but I wanted to be a singer, to stand on a stage in front of a huge crowd and sing. I don't know why, because I didn't have a special talent for music, just, I don't know, that was my little girl's dream. But later, when I was still, let's say, young, when I was 10, 14, something like that, still a child, but I think, I kind of knew that I'm going to lead people one day. I'm going to lead. I'm going to be the boss. Shameless, maybe, but I think I always took the initiative. When I was in the class, when I was among the group of friends, I was taking the initiative, maybe not even respecting sometimes the situation, but I know the solution, I have an idea, let's do this, let's do that, I know how to do it better, why don't we do this, that? So yes, I'm gonna lead a company, I'm going to lead an organization one day, I think. Yeah, I kind of knew it, although probably wouldn't have used these words for that.
So the world of finance and business is often seen as a man's world. Did you ever feel like you had to work harder to prove yourself just because you are a woman?
I was always a hard worker. I was hard worker in the school. I was hard worker when I started to work, hard worker at the university. Why? Because somehow I always want everything to be perfect. And even now, when it comes to me, I want to be always prepared. I want to know all the information. And it's not a burden. It's not something that, oh my God, I have another 100 pages to read. It's something which is interesting to me. It's something which is just me. So did I have to work harder than others? Then man, No, professionally, honestly, I never had that kind of feeling. Where I saw more the difficulties is kind of to connect to the colleagues. Whether it is because I'm a woman and majority of them are men, that kind of off topic, off work connection, that is more difficult. I don't know anything about football, and would I want to learn it to be able to engage in conversation? No, that wouldn't be natural. That wouldn't be honest. And like other kind of things, and I don't really drink a lot of alcohol or this kind of bonding together. I think that's difficult for women in the world where majority of the company is men and they have more natural connection. That's it. But when we come to strictly speaking about the professional content, then I didn't feel that kind of a distinction.
Okay, I understand. So, is there a business lesson you learned the hard way? One you wish you had known earlier?
There are a couple. I think I think I learned quite a lot of things during working, which you don't learn in classroom. And to select one, or maybe difficult to select one, but one things I remember is that when I learned that you never want to surprise your boss. Mm-hmm. Especially, you never want to surprise your boss in front of others, like in a group meeting. So, if you have any, let's say, surprising fact, information, anything you want to share, find a way to pre-align it, because those surprises, however, they are good, they are bad, whatever, especially if something contradictional. So you always have to find the opportunity, invest the time to do a professional pre-alignment. Surprises.
Good advice.
I think that's something which I learned the hard way.
This might be a cliche question, but if you could say something to your younger self, the girl just stepping into the business world, what would it be?
To my younger self, starting.
Maybe something short.
Don't doubt in yourself so much. So you can be even more confident in what you do.
You're a mother. You have 2 sons. Do they think it's cool to have a mom who's a top manager?
Well, now that they are young adults, I would say that they are joking a lot about it. They are mocking me sometimes. Obviously, they don't see me as a businesswoman because I'm a mother. They think it's cool, but they see the not so shiny part of this whole thing. And they lived through those decades when mom is going to work, mom doesn't have time to listen, mom is doing something. Now they kind of understand what I'm doing, they understand the industry, they have an honest interest in this whole thing, but they see the tough part of the whole thing. Mm-hmm. They live through the tough part of it. So whenever it comes, is it a cool? They also see the sacrifice part mm-hmm. of it.
What's the most important value you wanted to pass on to your sons?
I think the hard work, or the not to be superficial. So don't quote things that you don't understand. Mm-hmm. Check your facts. If you hear something, oh, I heard it, where is it coming from? Is it true? So be thorough. I think that's important. But that might not be a value. And the most important value, respect the people around you. There is always something that you can learn from people around you. So have a genuine respect. Oh, he is dumb. No, listen, look, there is something you might learn. Maybe you learn how not to be dumb. So respect the people around you.
Everyone talks about work-life balance. But how realistic is it really? Have you ever felt like you just couldn't have it all?
Yes. I sometimes feel I couldn't have it all or I can't have it all, but I want really to have it all. So,
Okay.
And I think for every people, that balance might be in different place. So what is a balance for me might not be a balance for you or someone else. So I think what is important is to feel good with your own choice. And do I feel good with my own choice? Overall, yes. Looking at how my kids turn out to be, yes, I think they saw a working mom, but I think it was a good example for them. And I don't think they lack any of the emotional support what kids are needing. My balance is probably somewhere else where majority of girls, maybe somewhere else where some of the girls, but I'm happy with it. I consciously I'm not on social media. I'm not spending time with chatting or posting things to scrolling or doing things. So what is not working time, that's a time which means something to me.
If you could choose one superpower to help you in everyday life, what would it be?
Oh, that's so obvious. Read people's mind. To know what they think.
Very interesting.
I think everyone would choose that. No?
Besides being a finance expert, you are also a passionate hiker. So how did that love for mountains begin?
I didn't grow up in Budapest. I grew up in a city called Miskolc, which is about 2-hour drive and surrounded by small Hungarian mountains. And ever since I was small with my family parents, we went to the mountains, but once again those are small. So I always liked nature. And as I became adult, what I like about mountaineering or trailing, hiking is there's a challenge, there's an immediate reward, very fast feedback. There is quiet. You don't really have energy or oxygen to talk loud. So it allows you to think, to contemplate, to this is just something, and it also shows you how small you are. So I'm just
great.
Oduševljena.
Oduševljeni ste. So that was my next question about similarities between climbing a mountain and leading a company.
I think the difference is that, once again, mountain, that gives you the immediate feedback. Could you do it? You could not do it. It's by the end of the day, you know what your challenge was. Leading a company requires stamina as well, but you don't have that fast of a feedback. And be careful, don't step to the wrong path, of course. Be considerate and don't be hectic. Don't do any hectic moves. Be prepared. Think it over the day before. Do you have everything? Are you prepared? What you're gonna do? Yes, there are similarities, but one is a shorter term and the other one is a much longer term.
I have one, I don't know how to say, surprising question for you. What's the secret to making the best goulash?
Wow. Now, maybe you expect me to answer that I cannot cook, but I'm actually a surprisingly good cook.
You cannot cook.
When I choose to cook, and I can even make goulash.
Okay.
And the secret is time. You need to cook it for long hours. Small heat, long hours.
5 or 8 hours.
I know, 4 hours.
Okay.
And I use a mix of beef and pork, which of course require different cooking time and lots of vegetables. And I don't know, I just do it by the way how I did see it from my mom.
So now it's a time for our little experiment. You've been in Croatia for a while, so you know some Croatian, but I don't know a single word of Hungarian. So can you please ask me something simple in Hungarian, and let's see if I can figure it out.
Okay, Ivana, melyik a kedvenc virágod?
I think it's a trap.
Okay. To je
I have no idea.
omiljeno cvijeće? Nisam čula.
I'm not sure. I like all flowers. Yes, this is very beautiful. To wrap things up, what message would you like to share with the woman listening, whether they are just starting their careers or looking for the courage to take the next step?
Girls, be brave. You can do it if you want to. Make your own choices. Make your own life choices, your own preferences. Don't do something because the world is expecting you to do that. If you want to choose your career, choose it. If you choose to be a mother, choose it. If you think you want to do both, do it. So just make your own choices. This is one thing. Second, don't doubt that much to yourself. You're doing it right. You can do it, and you will do it.
Thank you for being here today and for letting us see a different side of you. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
A vama, dragi slušatelji i gledatelji, hvala što ste i u ovoj epizodi bili s nama. Vjerujem da ćete iz ove epizode sigurno naučiti nešto novo i da će biti inspirativna za vas, bilo da je riječ o hrabrosti kako biste napravili onaj prvi korak o kojem smo više puta govorili u ovom izdanju. Ne zaboravite ići vlastitim putem i biti ustrajni. Vidimo se.